it, but it's like similar.
What is it? That here.
And you know, a couple other chords in there.
It was around there. This is what it ended up sounded like.
Yeah, it took us a while to like make that too. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you played it.
Yeah, but then you looped it.
Yeah, I think the drums came after the piano, right? Cool, so that was the kick pattern. And then I always like just having the snare on the 2 and 4. Two snares actually. So it was that, and then it was... maybe even 3. So it was that, it was that, and it was that. And then I had the hats running. And then the thing that made it fun was I had this guy, I think it was this pattern, which like I just kind of accidentally hit it. And it sounds so different on its own, like when it's on its own it doesn't sound like the right rhythm, but it just fits really well in.
Like adds some like swing to it. In a weird way.
Right. And then during the verses I have the ride start going. When it gets real big, I have the crash going. Not that one. And I think the bass was next, right?
Well, I was sitting over there, and you know, it was like open situation. Like, you got any ideas? Like, maybe, you know, I was like, I think I got a bass idea. And I had it in my head, I like knew what it would sound like and stuff like that. Picked up this bass here, I love this bass so much, yeah.
Show them what's going on with the bottom there.
There's some tape holding some felt over the strings. It's classic KAYHL key situation. Flat, you know, round wounds or flat wounds.
KAYHL key.
She's an old like famous studio bassist. She played on all like the Beach Boys stuff. But then there's this pedal that Pat has that is like really, really great.
Thank you.
The Fat Philosopher. And it sounds great.
What kind of pedal is it?
It's like a fuzzy compression pedal. Yeah, you know, and I was sitting over here thinking like, man, I don't know, I'm just like, most of the time all I do is just play instruments and stuff. I don't like make beats.
And I'm over here like, fuck, I can't play any instruments, I just make beats.
Can you, it's the Chandler, can you like crank, or actually I guess it's on, or turn it on mic.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had wanted to do like a steady, just like arpeggiated synth bass, and I was worried that that wasn't gonna sit super well on the low end. So we also did like a low synth bass that you can't really hear unless you're really listening for it, just to give it. So so that's sitting
like a nice like steady thing we had. Yeah.
Right, and that's sitting under the bass, and you can't really tell. But it kind of just helps it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just like keeps things running. And so it was kind of a mess the first day, but then before we left, we did the vocals. Charlie set up the mic and everything, and I just went and did this.
20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 25. I'm 25. I sound like I'm from 20, 20, 25.
And then after that, we were like, okay, well, let's do a double. And I wasn't even thinking about it, but I just went up and did this super high pitched thing.
Yeah.
20, 20, 20, 25.
And then we did like 4 more layers of doubles. As we started to do more and more of them, we were like, this is fucking tight, all of them together.
I'm 25, I sound like I'm 20, 25, I'm 25, don't like me, I just turned 25, I'm 20.
Charlie came in and sung this.
25, I'm 25. 25, I'm 25. 20, 25, I'm 25.
So then we just had like this hook sitting around. I'll just play it.
Sound like 25, I'm 25.
You and I had this, like, getting ready. We were getting ready to leave, and like, we were like, let's just listen to it. And then we hit play, and we were like, whoa!
And we
It's
were,
like
dancing
jumping around the room.
I had a video of it, but it's on my old phone, and it got wiped.
That was weird.
And then I wrote the verses kind of separately on my own. And they were like, I had a lot of different things written. I didn't really know what I wanted to go with. And so like anything that fit rhythmically kind of was possible. And that was kind of too many things. So I just, I had like a lot. I had like 3 different pages of notes in my phone of just like random shit that could have worked.
Now you're probably spending all your extra money at the boobies bar.
And then the thing about when I came up with the I'm loopy poopy, I'm a Stanley Tucci looking rupee core, I thought that was the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, dude.
So the first verse was just kind of dumb. And then the second verse, I was like, all right, well, let me actually talk about why I'm making things, and I just like generally have a strong frustration with the fact that I'm not gigantically famous yet. And so I wanted to talk about that in an honest way. So the second verse starts, 2020 I'm getting scared because I'll never be big if I'm not prepared. That's just me always worrying about when I'm going to get big, if I'm going to get big, if I'm doing enough things.
If you're doing it right.
If I'm doing it right. And so if I'm not prepared, maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. 2020, I'm getting scared because I'll never be big if I'm not prepared. And I'll never be big if I'm not the best. 25 Grammys sitting on my chest. And I'm just always thinking about grandiose shit, like the top of everything. But Macklemore never should have won the shit, so maybe it'd be better if I called it quits. I always hate getting compared to him, even more scared that the title fits. Which is in reference to the 2012 win. He won Best Rap Album for The Heist over Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick in 2012, and it's widely regarded as one of the most ridiculous decisions by the Grammys in history. And I don't hate Macklemore. I think he does what he does, and he does it well a lot of the time. And I think it's fine. And he had a hard time grappling with that and tried to figure it out. And I don't know if he did a great job, but he obviously was trying. So and I don't want to win unless it's deserved, and I think that Macklemore win wasn't necessarily deserved, and I think that it's easy to get an undeserved win when you're a white rapper, because it's just, the voters are a lot of older white people who are just like trying to understand rap and don't really fully get it, and it makes more sense to them when it's like another white kid that's like kind of doing and I don't want to do the like, oh come on, check me out, I'm accessible rap. So but I really like rap music, I really love rap music, and I love rapping, and that's the way that I choose to convey myself. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I would fit the best in like a hip hop or rap album category. And so I'm always like wondering about that, like would it be rude to even like put my name into the pool or whatever, but then it's like, well, fucking get off your high horse, like. Anyway, this is like me thinking 10 years down the line, being an insane person, but the gist is it's stuff I worry about. And so then that got into, I always say getting compared to him, even more scared that the title fits. But if I'm Mac, and if I'm Mac, and if I'm M or MCA, if I'm Ad Rock, if I'm Mike D, So it's If I'm Mac or If I'm Mac. That's Macklemore and Mac Miller. Rest in peace to Mac Miller. If I'm M or MCA. If I'm Eminem or MCA. Rest in peace MCA, also member of Beastie Boys. If I'm Ad Rock or I'm Mike D, the other two members of the Beastie Boys, then it better feel like it at the shows I play. So that's just, it is what it is. I'm a white rapper. This is how I communicate myself. And if I'm doing it, if I'm going to be compared to them, then I might as well embrace it the way that they embraced it. I mean, I exist in that sphere.
Yeah.
So if that's the sphere that I'm going to exist in, then I might as well take it in stride and just work to do it respectfully and with confidence. Because if you're just kind of putting your toes in the water and like kind of always apologizing for what you're doing, then that's not like, what's the point of you doing the thing in the first place?
Right.
So I'm just deciding to confidently do the thing and just like keep my head up along the way. And not up like pride, but like up like, thinking about things and looking around. Then it better feel like it at the shows I play. And then I'm just back in that spirit. I then run back into just like all the shit I want. So I just want more shows to play. I want a bus to tour. I wanted to tour in a tour bus ever since I was like 6 years old. Like I wanted to be a skater and tour in a tour bus.
Tales from the tour bus one day.
I just want a bus to tour. I just want 25 million fans. Maybe this year I can get some more. But that's also kind of the joke of it, is like, I want all this big shit. And then it's like, well, maybe this, maybe this year. And then towards the end of the song, we started to bring a lot of other elements in. Here's this weird organ thing that Charlie played. That thing sounds wild.
2020, I'm getting scared, cause I'll never be big if I'm not prepared, and I'll never be big if I'm not the best. 25 Grammys sitting on my chest.
And then it's this weird drum breakdown too, where I like changed it to some like house drums with the toms coming in. And I thought that it wasn't gonna work, but it ends up working really nicely.
If I'm Mac and if I'm Mac, and if I'm M or MCA, if I'm Ad Rock, if I'm Mike D.
This guy underneath.
I just want a show to play. I just want a bus to tour. I just want 25 million fans. Maybe this year I can get some more.
This is the synth that usually for the rest of the song was playing this line. Or sorry, not that line. It was playing this line, the like fun, like the kid thing. And then I decided I wanted to play a different variation on the chords with it in the end. And to me it just sounds like super like kinda end like and triumphant. And then the very last thing that came in, which I also was about to scratch, but really I love now, is Charlie came in and played like some slide guitar.
Yeah.
To kind of mirror the thing that he had done on the organ. So this is what he did on the organ. And then Charlie played this on the slide guitar.
It sounds fucking good. Yeah, I forgot you even used it.
Love twang. So that's 2025, baby. That's how we made it.